Stephen Wayne Rochon, U.S. Coast Guard, Rear Admiral. I had actually two opportunities with a few years in between. My first experience in the Middle East was when I helped start the Coast Guard's combat skills training. And to do that, we went to Jordan and to work with the Jordanian Coast Guard. And we found that they had budget issues that were far worse than us. But they had one boat to work with a few untrained folks, and we had loads of training. And it was a really great experience to be able to spend a couple of weeks over there and help bring the Jordanian Coast Guard up to a level where they felt that they could protect their own country. Later on, they were able to get funded because I think there was a new respect for what they had learned from our little Coast Guard coming over there. But then later, in the job where I was, responsible for folks in Southwest Asia and the Middle East, I was able to go over and do the same thing that I had experienced with Katrina. That we had men and women on Coast Guard cutters cruising in pretty dangerous areas in Iraqi waters. But again, other things were not happening for them at home. Because this was a new experience for us to be over there working side by side with the Navy, sometimes on Navy patrol boats. But again, they were concerned about what's happening back home. We were put in camouflage uniforms and put on patrol boats with a possible chance of being right in the midst of enemy fire and having to concentrate on that job and then worry about what's happening back home. So I did have the experience to go over there. I wasn't on the front line, but I wanted to experience firsthand where Petty Officer Nathan Bruckenthal was killed, only casualty during the war. And so the crew took me to the location of the rig that he was trying to defend. And it gave me an appreciation of even that one casualty, how every day these men and women put their lives on the line for this country that often don't appreciate what they do. And that's small scale compared to the Marines and the Army, the Navy, and the Coast Guard that have lost more people. And so when I see sometimes on TV that folks, even in our Congress, that have no real appreciation, I wish more would have served in uniform on what people do for you and I, for you to be able to go to middle school and feel safe. You don't think about, maybe recently since New York and whatever, but you don't think every day about being bombed or being attacked by folks. But think of the kids your age over in those countries that live with that fear every single day. And we don't have that here. And so I do get worked up and passionate when I think that the folks back home here, particularly the folks that are capable and responsible for supporting our troops, our men and women, don't really have that appreciation for that. And so that small part in the grand scheme of things, the smaller scale of going over to the Middle East and finding out again, one by one, what are the issues that I can help make you do your job better here in theater by taking care of things at home. I've never been on the front line, but I sure appreciate what they all do. And before we start jumping to conclusions, even with the most recent Bergdahl situation, we really got to appreciate what people go through over there and the pressures that make you do certain things that we sit back here in our cushy chairs trying to, either find fault with folks. You just can't imagine what people go through over there that might tip them over the scale. And so I wish we would have more patience and to try to get to the real story before we start, saying disparaging things about folks that are putting their lives on the line. And who knows, maybe the truth will come out and it'll be different. At least give it an opportunity. People are losing, young people are losing their lives to keep us feeling nice and safe to sit in this beautiful Navy Memorial Museum and ask this old guy questions and not worry about something happening. We can't take that for granted. My role was to, I actually relieved as a director of intelligence my predecessor, who was Fran Townsend. You see her on CNN and Fox often. She's a contributor on TV. And she was the first one to actually have that position. But the Coast Guard decided that, Fran Townsend was moving on to do bigger and more lucrative things in her career. And so I was already the director of intelligence at the Department of Transportation for Secretary Norman Netter, which was just a great experience there. And a lot of stories from that that probably led to some successes that also led for me to be selected as Director of Intelligence for the Coast Guard. So I relieved Fran, and in the intelligence community, there's things called a flag professional, intel professional. I became the Coast Guard's first flag intelligence professional because it was a civilian person that had the job before me. And the challenges there was to get a little Coast Guard, because a lot of people still to this day don't realize that it is one of the 5 armed forces of the United States. Everyone knows about the Army and Marine Corps and the Navy and the Air Force. Very few people consider the Coast Guard as part of the military because we don't come under the Department of Defense. Presently, we come under the Department of Homeland Security. Before that, it was Department of Transportation, and originally, under Alexander Hamilton, it was under the Department of Treasury to protect the revenue of this country back in 1790. It was a challenge for the Coast Guard to break into the intelligence community, NSA, DIA, CIA, Defense Intelligence. It was an uphill battle to get respect at the table. But my job was to sell what the Coast Guard brought to the table. And we bought a lot. We are the experts in drug and addiction. But we need the assistance of everyone else in the intelligence community. And so I think we were very successful in getting an equal chair at the table with the other 10 or so members of the intelligence community, which I think helped pave the way when I was asked to take another job in the Coast Guard as Director of Personnel Management, which was a great move because I got quite involved in Hurricane Katrina. But before I left that job, the Coast Guard brought in a really top-notch intelligence professional, Jim Sloan, who had years and years of experience and was going to take what I had started even to another level. So he came on board, and I became his deputy. Great staff, very dedicated intelligence staff. Unfortunately, Jim Sloan passed away in that job. But I had moved on. But I think we made some really good inroads in getting the respect and being equal partners in the intelligence community.